Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is Apotheosis, a mod by Shadows of Fire. This mod adds a whole new level to enchanting, mob spawners, potions, arrows, anvils, and more. So, let's look at the next enchantment here. We have Scavenger III. This one is also a masterwork enchantment. Mobs killed may roll their loot tables twice, and this can be very key for obtaining this. It's not exactly the easiest enchant to work with, but it does work with looting as well. You can also add that in there. And what that means is that it'll roll the loot table twice and give you item drops that are best for it, basically. And in this case, I could potentially get a better drop rate with like a Looting 3 Scavenger 3 from a rabbit by getting its rabbit's foot in this case. By using this. And it's just pretty much the same. You just use it like you would a looting sword or something like that. But Scavenger 3 is just going to help you get the best bang for your buck, and it works better, at least in my testing, I believe, with Looting 3. I don't think that it's required, but it is a good thing. And that leads me to the Lucky Rabbit's Foot. This here, being a rare find, is something that you can get from rabbits as a rare thing, not just the foot. This is a lucky one, which it is used in making luck potions. Which, for those that don't know, if you have luck enchanted on you and you open up chests that haven't been opened yet, you have a better chance of getting better loot. And that's kind of how that works with it. So, but before we move on to the next chest there, let's continue on with Knowledge of the Ages 3. This one here is definitely going to help you keep your inventory clean and your XP levels high. So I've got 3 swords here to demonstrate how Knowledge of the Ages works. With a regular iron sword, I'm going to do the same damage with all 3 of these, regardless. So there's no damage enhancement on there. But if I drop down a spider and I kill the spider, there's a chance I'll get a little bit of XP and some drops. So let's actually change that to game mode 0. And you see I get 3 little globes. Barely, there's not going to be any movement on my XP meter for this because I'm at level 399, right? I got 1 string. Well, if I use something with Knowledge of the Ages, let's say 3 because that's the highest level, and then I kill this mob, any loot drops that it might have are turned into XP. As you can see, I got a lot more XP for that one. Let's try it again. So I don't get any loot drops, but I do get a lot more XP from it. And the higher the level, the more XP you're going to get. Now, if I use something with Looting 3 and Knowledge of the Ages 3, it will drop more loot that will be turned into more XP. So let's try this one. Hopefully not die in the process. And usually you'll get a lot more. Now, of course, it all depends on the drops that it normally would have done. There you go. Look at all those XP orbs. I believe I've got clumps in here right now. So you can see that gave me a whole lot more. So this is a really quick and easy way. You saw that I just got like a half a level by killing 3 or 4 spiders up at level 399. I mean, it's really good for getting XP. Really, really good. Now, the next one here, True Infinity. Does that mean I can shoot my bow without arrows? Does it? Does it? No. No, it doesn't. But it does mean that you can infinitely shoot special arrows, like spectral ones, for instance. In this case, let's shoot straight here. I am in survival. Keep that in mind. And you can see that it has the yellow tip of the spectral arrow. If I were to bring in a friendly neighborhood, there we go, spider, shoot it. It is now spectraled, and I can keep on going with that. And I only have the 1 arrow. I don't have any other arrows in here, and I am in survival. So that is the advantage of True Infinity, is that it allows you to basically use infinity with special arrows. And that means any of the special arrows, not just spectral arrows. I was using that as only an example. So let's talk about splitting. This is an enchanted book used specifically for anvils. It sounds a bit weird, but this is how it works. First, you'd get a book, an enchanted book. If you're enchanting on these things, you will probably get something with multiple enchantments on it. In this case, I got Protection 2, Feather Falling 1, and Knockback 1. I need both Protection 2 and Feather Falling and Knockback, but I need them on separate. I need them on separate books. This is just not going to do. And I don't really want to spend the levels to get these over again and re-roll and re-roll and re-roll. So that's what this is for. If you enchant an anvil with splitting, therefore you have a high chance of splitting that book, in this case I'm just going to throw it down here, I'm going to put it up here, into its components. And you can see here, protection 2, feather falling 1, knockback 1. And what happened to the anvil? It was damaged in the process of that. It still keeps the enchantment, so you can still use it again, but you also know that, let's see, can I repair it that way? No. Can I repair it this way? Yes, I can. So it slightly damaged anvil with splitting 5. With a block of iron, it is now an anvil with splitting 5. So you can keep on reusing that at the cost of iron. You don't need to worry about it quite as much. So that is how splitting works, allowing you to split your enchantments off of different, off of a book that has multiples on it. All right, next we have Mounted Strike, and this goes up to level 6. This is ridiculous. Remember the what was it? Hell Infusion here, that's how strong that was. This one's pretty much the same thing, but while you're on a horse. First, let me have a little bit of food so I don't end up dying in the process here. But if I have a volunteer tossed out, let's jump on Pickles here, and we will drop down, jump over this, we'll drop down a spider, and then I will attack it with my sword. I can barely hit it, takes 3 hits to kill it. It does a decent amount of damage. You know, I'm using an iron sword, and we can attack the dummy. Of course, we're doing 3 damage. No big deal, right? Well, if I use my Mounted Strike 6 iron sword, big differences will be had. Spider is dead. This dummy, dead. 28 3/4 damage. It is ridiculous, but this is the benefits of Mounted Strike while on a horse. Now, if I hop off of my trusty steed Pickles here, and I run back over here and try using my same sword, I'm just doing my normal damage. So while mounted, you get a big damage bonus, and it's of course multiplicative upon going up higher in levels. So the higher levels you have, the more damage you're going to do tremendously. Now this one, capturing 5. This sword here has a ton of enchants on it. Just ignore all the other ones. Just look at the very bottom one, capturing 5, right? What that allows me to do is potentially capture spawn eggs, allowing me to modify spawners or spawn enemies at will. Now, it doesn't guarantee you're always going to get one. For instance, I'm going to change into creative here, and we're going to spawn a whole bunch of husks just in one spot so I can kill them all rather quickly. And there we go. You can see that there actually is an egg in there. It did take a bit of time and a lot of mobs, so there's a possibility after killing a whole lot of them that with a capturing, I switched swords so that it was a little bit easier to see. Capturing is first on there, but I did add looting, scavenger, sharpness, and sweeping edge just so it'd make it a little bit easier for me. But therefore, I can now get an extra spawn egg. Now, yes, I did start with 1, and I'm in creative right now. But there we go. I now have 2. Well, the reason I'm in creative is just so that I could make things a little bit simpler for myself on getting this taken care of. Get away from Pickles. Get away from it. That didn't turn out how I wanted. Anyway, let's move on to the next enchantment here. If we continue on, we've finished with the capturing one, so let's go into the next category. We've got Occult Aversion. Magic damage dealt by and to the user is reduced. Now, I meant to have this enchanted, but it's pretty much just the same. Any kind of magic damage that you would take, let's say from a witch's harm spell or something like that, would be reduced. But then any magic damage that you do from, say, like sharpness effect would also be reduced. So you take less that you are hit by and that you deal with. That's pretty much it, and it increases as you go up. This is a twisted one, so it's something you need to watch out for. It has a benefit with also a big drawback. Now, Rebounding 3. This one here is actually a lot of fun. Some of you might have already seen this, tweeted this out earlier, and it's just hilarious with the effects that can happen from this. So let me change to survival mode, put down a spider, and make it angry. Bye. Whoa. Bloop. This is the fun that can be had with these this enchantment, the rebounding, basically has a very good chance. The more or the higher the level, and the more often worn on your armor, the more often it will end up doing this. But let's grab some other foes that might attack me here, like I don't know, a husk. There we go, and pew, there it goes, pew. This is the fun that can be had with this. They just get launched with a massive knockback effect, and it is just hilarious and ridiculous at the same time. Hey, you, get out of here. All right, so there you go. Rebounding 3 for the win. I don't know. I mean, in cramped places, would it be as useful? Probably not, but it's definitely a lot of fun that can be had. All right, so this next one, Icy Thorns, which has up to 3 levels. It will slow attackers when they hit you. It is a Thorns effect that you need to actually, have on your armor. Let me eat some food so I can get my health back up. I'll spawn a husk, and he gets slowed. There you go. You can see he's got it for quite some time, actually. He's still going. Level 3 lasts for a good long time. Yep, still come at me, bro. Come on. What's the matter? Okay, yeah, just a lot of fun. Again, Icy Thorns, a good one to have on your armor. It can do... Now, I have other options on this sword that allowed me to take damage. That's what happened there. But, I mean, I was just using the chain armor as an example. It doesn't have to be chain armor, but it can be used on any of your standard Minecraft armors. And then we've got Stable Footing. Now, Stable Footing, I don't think that I really need to demonstrate this, but basically it negates the mining speed penalty when flying. So, you know how if you're in creative mode, or not creative mode, but if you have some kind of flight with modded Minecraft, therefore this would allow you to just mine easier when you're in the air or something like that. That's pretty much it. Now, Shield Bash empowers damage done by shields. That's right. You can now smash your mobs to death. Of course, this one took a big hit on damage by me using it like that. So it's something that you're probably going to want to enchant with some kind of mending ability. I mean, that really hurt. Let's add some life mending to it. There we go. Takes a little bit of my health in order to do so. It'll eventually keep up, but you get the idea here. It can be a lot of pain and suffering with life mending in there. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Oh, God. So yeah, there are advantages and disadvantages of that, but it does allow you to empower your shield attacks, which is really good. Just be very wary of when you use life mending. It can really, really hurt. So, reflective defenses. Let's grab this one. All right, so this one says blocked attacks may harm the attacker. So if I have a baby zombie coming at me, there's a chance that it's just going to get hit, just like a good old-fashioned Tinker's Cactus Shield. It's pretty darn good. It uses a little bit of durability, of course, so you're going to want to be cautious about that. Remember, to go easy on the life mending. But with that taken off, at least it's giving you some options here. We've got Miner's Fervor going all the way up to level 7. And this adjusts the mining speed based on the Y level. The further down you go, the faster it goes. It's twisted this way, though, because when you are up higher, it's going to be rather slow. So let me grab a few examples. All right, so currently, let's bring up my journey map here. I am at Y level 67, right? So therefore, if I dig, it's at a decent rate, right? This is just a regular iron shovel with Miner's Fervor 7 on it. So if I go up higher in the world or lower in the world, things will change. In fact, let's go down much further. All right, so here I am down at Y level 3. And if I use this, I'm no longer in creative. It's super fast. So just remember, though, it's twisted. If you go up to the world height and you're trying to build something at your sky base, yeah, these are really going to be detrimental to you and not as helpful as you might think. But this is these basically, most people use tools down really far down, so it's really good on something like a pickaxe. And yes, Miner's Fervor works on things like axes, picks, and shovels, so it is very useful across a spectrum of things. Now, an enchanted book, this one here called Temptation, allows you to entice nearby farm animals. So let's grab this, put it on my hoe. There we go. and if I have any nearby animals, turn that on, and I equip my hoe. Ooh, follow me. It is pretty much just going to allow you to do that. If I take that off, no interest. And yes, it is instantaneous. You don't have to wait for the cooldown. It's pretty darn cool like that. Or, well, no, I guess you do have to wait for the cooldown. But still, I mean, you know, farm animals will have a slight cooldown before they are enticed again. But then they'll find it interesting once again. So let's move into the next one, which is actually the last of the enchantments here. We've got Nature's Blessing 3. Hoes may be used to bone meal crops. Once again, let's use this on something like a wooden hoe, because that just seems more thematic to me. If I were to use it to get some potatoes, grab one of these real quick, and I can put this in my offhand and harvest this. Oh wait, I can't, because I just bone mealed the ground. Let me change my game mode to 0. Try that again, and oh no, can't even use it to hoe the earth anymore, but you can use it to kind of grow the area and at this point. So just make sure that you have 2 hoes to work with so that you can actually do it. If you want to sneak, I'm just kidding. If you want to sneak, you can just do this, plant your crop, and then you can do it. So if you are sneaking while you use your special hoe, you can do that. But it will use, as you can see, a lot of durability is used up. Now this is just a regular wooden one, and by using all those, I used up a very large portion of the durability in this. But it is really, really cool that you have at least a few more enchants for hoes that are more thematic, I should say. So let's get into this last bit here. And that last bit is actually at the bottom here. I actually closed the chest by accident, but it's still arrows and potions. Basically all of the different potions or enchants and effects, not all of them are available, but you now have availability for resistance, absorption, and these, of course, I have them at the highest level here, so you can see how high they can go. Resistance 2, you can get absorption up to 4, and these are potion effects now, not just like you can eat an apple or something like that. Haste 2, which also applies to your attack speed and not just your mining of with picks and stuff. Potion of Mining Fatigue, you can use this to throw at your foes or players if you so desire, you know, as perhaps an offensive tool. Wither, you can get Wither 1 and 2. And then, of course, Sundering, which Sundering, it's the inverse of resistance, which increases damage taken by 20% per level. And then, of course, Knowledge 2, which is just like the Knowledge enchantment, in that each level will increase or multiply the XP you get from kills by 15 per level, which, of course, is configurable. Almost everything in this mod is configurable. It's got a lot of configuration options, so don't be afraid to check those out in the config files, and maybe you too can have your own life-mending killer sword of Berserker Fury with double unbreakable trousers of pantslessness. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Apotheosis by Shadows of Fire. If so, be sure to give a like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget we stream most nights around 10 p.m. on Twitch. We'll see you guys there, and until next time.